I'm your host, Brian J. Roberts. With me is my co host and engineer, Tim T. And joining us today is a very special guest. Over 100 professional fighting victories, 20 0 in mixed martial arts, and the current undisputed, undefeated middleweight champion of the world, the last style bender himself, Israel Adesanya. Izzy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the intro. I appreciate it.
So, Izzy, I want to start at the very beginning. I want to hear more about your story,
Mhm.
how you got into fighting, what led to that, and just what that journey was like for you in those early years, in those formative years.
Mm. You want to take it back? If you want to take it back. Long story short, I watched this movie Ong Bak. That was the movie that made Muay Thai mainstream to the world. And I was like, I already did Taekwondo as a kid, so I like kicking. And this was a new element to kick fighting that I liked in that movie, Muay Thai. And yeah, I just decided to start fighting. Within 6 weeks of training, I got my first fight. And then once I was in the ring and I got that rush, I was hooked. That was it. I wanted more of it because I was getting it in the dance world, but that was a different kind of rush when you make a crowd go wow. And yeah, so within a few months, I packed my bags from the little town that I was in, and I moved to Auckland, which is the city I'm in right now. And I came to train at City Kickboxing. And yeah, man, that was me. Just everything in my car, everything I owned, and I was staying in this little room with one of a family friend, and yeah, man, no money. Well, not no money, but little money to my name. I was eating these, and still, stay broke, stay woke, baby. No matter how rich I get, I stay true to my roots. So I still eat these, just because these have saved me a lot through the years. When I couldn't afford dog food for my dog Millie, Millionaire was his name, by the way, and I called him that for a reason. It's my boy right here, Millie. So when I couldn't afford food, I'd give him my meat and I'd eat rice or I'd eat bees because this is how you live. So yeah, man, I was coming up, I was hungry, and I'm still hungry, and yeah, the rest is history. Here we are now.
Hmm. So that's, speaking of money and not having a whole lot, I'm curious to know how you managed your finances. You hear so much about just the low pay that fighters get. And even as they advance through the ranks, it's apparently still a struggle. And then dealing with all the contractual issues, how have you managed the financial side and the business side of things as you've progressed through your career? And how has that evolved for you over time?
Mm, that's honestly just has to do with the people you have around you. Like coming up as well, I had my parents who were supportive. They were apprehensive at first, but they could see my passion. They could see, that he's got something. I think after my first King in the Ring win was when they were like, oh shit, he's actually really good at this. But yeah, having my father, he's an accountant, so he's a smart man, and I could pay someone else to do the job that he does, but he does it for free and out of love, and because he wants his seed to be successful. So no one on this fucking planet is gonna have my back like my father does, and my creator does. So yeah, having him watch my back, and still to this day, he's that hawk, that super eagle that's just circling and just quietly watching and just seeing, you know, where the vulture's at. The vultures think they're the ones circling me, but nah, you got a super eagle circling them, all of them. So yeah, I believe him and also the team I have around me as well. There was times when guys like Engage, my sponsor, I was on my my last $100, and he just tells me check my account, and I've got money in my account that can last me for the next 5 months. And also, just I wasn't always financially literate, if you will. I wasn't really good with saving money, but now I've learned. I've been rich, broke again, and I'm rich again. So with the lessons I've learned along the way, I make sure I'm never going back. So I still stay broke and I stay woke.
And what has been it seems like you've always had this champion mentality even since the beginning. And I'm just curious how over time you've managed to sustain that, even when it appears that the difficulty may be increasing, the stakes are much higher. So I want to know how you balance, now that I see how the financial health is aided. What do you do as far as your mental health and keeping yourself psychologically fit and basically being Teflon?
Man, I think honestly, same thing. People you have around you, my family, my loved ones, my team. But the new one, which is over maybe the last 2 years, that was the one that took me to the next level was therapy. And that's the thing I keep saying is like there's been this whole stigma around it, and it's people that I know, people that are smart, geniuses that I know, still won't go to therapy. They won't look after themselves mentally, but when they're sick, they go to the doctor. So I tell people, not everyone is mentally ill, just like not everyone's physically ill. But if you don't look after your physical health, you're going to get sick. Same thing as if you don't look after your mental health, you're going to get sick. And that's one thing I keep pushing. And sometimes I get people like, oh, they think I'm mentally ill. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't have any like label or anything. I've never diagnosed myself or got diagnosed with anything. But I realize if I don't look after my mental health, especially in this world where no one teaches you how to be rich and famous. There's no book on how to be rich and famous. So I've seen so many people rise and fall through entertainment and sports and movies and whatnot. So I never want to be one of those statistics. So I just made sure it was after my UFC debut. I remember I got home. It was in February 2018. I got home. No, 2019. My bad. I got home and yeah, I was just depressed. I was sad, and I was like, What am I sad about? This I just fucking dominated in the UFC, stole the show, made a 50K bonus US, made my show and win money. What am I sad about? That I realized like, okay, this is not gonna be this is not something that is normal. This is not something that's right. So I went to therapy to help me get some new uh coping mechanisms with the new life that I had, this new uprising fame. And it's the same thing. Every fight that I have is bigger than all the previous ones together. So yeah, I'd say the people I have around me and therapy. Those are the main things that also nature as well. My dogs as well. Yeah, nature helps me. But yeah, the people that I have around me and therapy.
I'd love to know more about that too. Just the other things you do
Mm.
outside of the octagon just to keep yourself well. What are some things you do just day to day, week to week, just to enjoy life more?
I like hanging out with my friends. I like my alone time. I like um I like just hanging out with my dogs, and my cat when she was here, RIP. I like plotting and planning the future, like my alone time. I like to just I'm a night owl, so you see me or you won't see me, but you maybe online sometimes if I sip a little bit, you see me at like 3 a.m. just vibing in my living room to some music and dancing and then shadow boxing and just I create scenarios. I plan future things. So everything that's happening, there's so many possibilities that can happen, so many parallel universes or whatever, so many timelines. So I put myself in those scenarios and I recreate them. And when they happen, it's like deja vu. It's like they've already happened before because they have.
So, how big would you say like visualization is for you? Just visualizing the next opponent or just the next match, like everything, right?
It's big. Visualizing is big for me. It's like it's just as important as training, honestly, if not more. And certain like leading up to the fight, training definitely the physical takes paramount with the visualization. But then like as the fight gets closer, like 2 weeks out, a week out, fight week, you have the best training camp of your life. But if this is what I did with this guy, right? So my last fight with Paulo Costa, everyone was like, Paulo just didn't do his game plan. Paulo didn't do. He should have just done. He should have just attacked. He's attacked every single person he's fought. Come forward and just beat the shit out of them. What's something my last two opponents have in common? They both froze. What's the common denominator in that equation? This guy, me. I make them freeze, and I said it before the fight. It's easy to do all this, But when you step in front of me, you can't. You can't plan for it. You can visualize all you want, but it's different when I'm in front of you. When you feel me, when you feel my energy, when you feel my presence. And I was letting them know while I was fighting them, when I was kicking his legs. At one point, I pointed. I was like, I know you're hurt. He might poker face and come on, easy, come on. I was like, I know you're hurt. There was one point I faked the leg kick and he jumped back, and I was like, I didn't even realize I did that till after the fight. Then I realized, wait a minute, I did do that, but it's because I was operating. My muscle memory, that shows that it has synapses or whatever. Like there's a being with your muscles, your body. You have to be in tune with your body. So yeah, when I had him shook, it was easy to just like break him down because he doesn't have this. I took the driver's seat. In his mind long before. We had 3 interactions, the one in the hallway, and then everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is all fake beef. It's fake beef." And I was like, "Bitch, have you seen my Twitter? Have you seen my Instagram? What's fake now? I'm on him. I'm on him. This shit, like they think it's just fucking selling the fight or it's just business. Fuck no. You say some shit about me, about my country, about my people. It's personal, but I don't take it personally. That's the difference I learned from therapy. You don't take things personally. It's personal. But I was just like, right, that'll keep. In the fight week, all I kept on saying was practicing patience. Are you excited for the fight, Israel? Are you excited? I'm like, no, I'm just practicing patience. And I knew you can't, you don't want to bust too quick. So you just have to wait till the right time before you right on them.
So how do you separate, because it's you in the ring, so how do you separate the business from the personal?
It's not me. It's me. It's part of me. But it's not me like you're talking to right now. One thing I like to do before when I watch my fights back, you look into my eyes when I'm fighting, or right when I'm in the cage. You just look into my eyes when I'm in that octagon, and you'll see. Have you seen what's the name? Split, the movie Split.
Where he has dual personalities or like 50 personalities? I've seen pieces of it, yeah.
Pieces, yeah, something like that. Everyone has that. But there's a spectrum. You can be on that fucking spectrum where you're fucking crazy.
Mhm.
But everyone has different sides to them. Everyone. I speak 3 different languages. I speak in different accents. I'm able to code switch. Same thing with character. That's one thing I learned from dancing is owning different characters. And it's not acting. Like I said, he was acting. My last 2 opponents are actors. They were all acting like they wanted it, but I could feel them. They don't want it. But how I switch is just surrender. Just surrender. Let go. Don't be so focused on the outcome. I just surrender. So I was like, I said it to myself. I said it to my wrestling coach, who's my roommate on Fight Island. I said, this is my fight to win. This is my fight to lose. If I do me, the only time I've ever been knocked out of my life was because I didn't do me. I hurt the guy badly, and all I threw at him was right hands. But it's because of the fight prior to that where I missed out on a world title in kickboxing, and people started to like have their own opinions, and I let that get to me a little bit. And when I had that next fight and I heard him, I didn't stay true to my style. If not, I would have knocked him out like that. But I said, this is me. This is my fight to win. This is my fight to lose. If I stay true to myself, when I'm having fun, I'm the best in the world. And I knew he couldn't beat me. So when it was time, I was in my stance. I was like, whoop. I was like, let's go, bitch. I'll show you who skinny is. And I went in there and I just, like, literally, I did him like no one has ever done him before. I dominated him from bell to bell. And I love that look in the beginning of the second round when they know they're fucked. I love that look. It's like blood in the water. I can just feel it. I'm like, oh, you can't run now. Yeah, they can't run for their life now.
Yeah, that's that mental edge you got right there. That mental.
Yeah, 100%.
It's almost
They
it's
carry on. Sorry.
it's almost like it's that split like you mentioned, and then it's as if you come into this warrior mentality, this
Character.
mentality, except it's really you. It's not act.
Like I said, there was a bit you can see on my Instagram, one of the clips, it's 3 clips, all black and white, where I was showing how he was shook. And I was kind of breaking it down. There was one I faked the leg kick, he jumped back, and I did this. In the fight, in that moment, when it happened, this guy, Israel here, was like, did you just do that? But the beast was just focused. Even when he beat Uriah Hall, there's a picture, it's on my Instagram, deep in my Instagram, there's a picture where I'm standing there just looking at him like he beat Uriah Hall, and I was in the crowd, and I was looking at him, and I could hear some kid yelling, Israel, stop him. But me here, I was like, yo, I want to talk. I'll address you soon, kid. But the beast is focused. But I couldn't address him because the beast was just focused. It was honed in. The primal state was on. I was locked in. So yeah, you have to be able to separate. Don't take things personally, and just step into your role. Like for me, I felt like I was able to channel God mode from the get go before the fighting back. Sometimes, like in a Gastelum fight, it took me till the fifth round before I like right God mode on. Like the Avatar Ang when he goes in the Avatar state. Normally you can't control it, but then he was trying to learn how to master being in the Avatar state and be focused and control. This fight I did it. This fight I know the steps now I need to take to be in the Avatar state and just control it and own it. So I stepped into my role and just let it be. Just let it be.
Is that what happened with Kelvin? You feel like you it took you a while to reach that, like you were saying?
Yeah, with Kelvin, I felt like I was doing well from the first round. He caught me, but it never shook my confidence. In the second round, I came out like a bat out of hell. I dropped him, and I kept on going. I was in my flow state, but then I didn't hit that God mode till the fifth round, where I was just like, "What is this power?" Like I just felt unstoppable, and I steamrolled him. But yeah, it just took me a while because I was still learning how to harness this. I still haven't mastered it yet. Don't get me wrong, but I've come further along from this last fight. The momentum is so strong. I know the things to do. I know how to surrender even more now. I know how to just let go and not be so attached to the outcome and just let go and just be like, right, this is it. Like if I got knocked out in that fight, I would have been knocked out. But guess what? I'd still be here. I'd still be fine. I'd still make millions of dollars. I'd still have my dogs who love me, my family, my girl, my friends. Like they'd all still love me, the people that actually matter. So, as I lay here, I'm in quarantine right now, I have 6 more days, but like sometimes I don't let it run away from me. I still remember like if you could have lost, because it's a possibility. Everyone can lose. So it just keeps me humble just to remember like if you had lost, this wouldn't be the same. So I soak it and I really appreciate it. I really just savor it right now because it's beautiful. I love fucking winning. And don't get me wrong, I've lost many times, but I remain undefeated. Shout out to my boy VDK. That was his quote. Rest in peace. But he's told me like I've lost many times, but I remain undefeated, and that's this.
Is that the mentality that you're tapping into during those challenging points, those pinches, or say when you recovered from those very few losses you had?
Mm.
When you're in that bind, however big or small it may be, what gets you through that? Because kind of when you mentioned how you sense this blood in the water in the midst of the fighting, and you hone in because of that, how do you counteract that during those very few moments you've had where you've been in the pinch? What
Yeah,
you thinking during?
like like I said in the Gaslamp fight in the first round, he rocked me. He never dropped me. My ass never hit the ground, but he rocked me, and I hit the fence, and immediately I circled back to the center of the cage, and I owned it, and I kept on fighting. So he got that round, but it's this: you never fold, you never fold. Even Teddy Atlas, when I was watching him watch that fight back, once he saw my face in the beginning of the second round, one thing he said was he hasn't let up. Like he's still in the fight. Like he's still right there. This is before the second round, and I was right there, leaning forward, game ready. But it's just posture. It's just like your physical affects your mental, and your mental vice versa. So it's posturing and just knowing yourself and the work you've done. I just knew I was fit because I've done the work. I'm fit, and you will have that voice. Everyone has that voice to tell you it's okay, it's all right. You got to. It's self-preservation. Self-preservation is the strongest instinct in the human animal. But sometimes you have to override that control. You have to override it, and manually take over. Don't be on automatic, manual, and take over, and then run that shit. Run your own mind, run your own body. So that's what I do. But it just comes with practice and experience. And I'm a vet in this game.
Do you feel like the therapy helped with that?
100%, 100%. Like learning to in that fight, I didn't really have this lady I'm working with now. I wouldn't even say she's a therapist. She's got all the degrees, everything, but then she opted out of this whole rat race. She just lives in her van and travels the country, and we just talk like this on Zoom. So that way I can just be in my bed rather than on some random casting couch or whatever. So, but she calls herself a possibility manager now, but she's cool. But she's definitely helped, not with that fight, but in my recent fights from the Romero fight onwards. She's my new therapist. She's helped me with a lot of possibility management, if you will. So yeah, like learning how to raise the feeling of anger, because emotion, like I was angry at Paulo, but I wasn't emotional because I don't know the motherfucker. He has no stake in my life whatsoever. He can think whatever he wants about me. But if my people, my dad, my mom, my brothers, my coaches, my teammates, what they think about me affects me. But someone else who I don't fucking know, who I'm gonna fight, doesn't affect me. So I was able to raise my feeling, not emotion, my feeling of anger, to claim my space, to hold my own, and direct it at the right time. So she's helped me with that. And you can do that with sadness, with fear. You use that with sadness to empathize. You can raise the feeling of sadness to empathize and connect with someone who's going through something. Same thing with the feeling of happiness. Same thing with the feeling of fear. And that was another thing Teddy talked about, is the feeling of honing that fear and using it, because it's powerful energies that we're just, it's just sitting in us, but people don't know how to use it sometimes. Same thing with excited. People get overly excited and don't know how to use it. They get sad and don't know how to control that emotion, and people sometimes throw themselves off building because of that. Same thing with anger. People make decisions in anger that they regret because they don't know how to hone those feelings. So yeah, my possibility manager helped me, and I wasn't like sick or anything, but just I didn't want to get sick, so I just made sure I have these things on lock, because like I said, no one teaches you how to be rich and famous, and I'm not going to be one of these statistics that you see on TMZ.
Yeah, man, you gotta enjoy the moment, because right now you in a Versace robe, you the middleweight champ.
Yeah, man.
No, you
I'm
feeling.
living.
It's good to see you like that, man, for real.
Yeah, appreciate that. Nah, honestly, man, I forget I'm the champ all the time. I didn't even have the belt with me. My belt's somewhere at the gym or somewhere at my coach's house. Like I never really attach myself to that thing. It's nice, it's fancy. It brings the cheddar. Cheddar makes it better. But it's just another fucking. I've got many belts in my life. Many. I've got over 12 belts, I'm sure. Maybe even 14. But for me, it's just about just beating up these motherfuckers who people think are the baddest, who think this is the guy. This is every guy fights the next guy to beat me. I'm like, all right, let me show you. And that's just what I love doing. That's the real rush for me. It's taking out these motherfuckers, these trained killers that people think I can't beat.
So who would you say you looking at next, opponent wise?
Can't tell you that. That's need to know basis. But we have something already in the works.
And just more generally, Izzy, what you've accomplished so much. It's clear you have the mindset necessary to continue thriving. Beyond fighting, what are some of your future plans,
Oh
ambitions,
man,
even outside
many.
the octagon, businesses,
I
philanthropy?
got many,
I mean,
many. Like I do a lot of things already on the low, but that's just like I can't change the world. I'm just one person. But what I can do is I can change the world around me and influence people to do the same. And if people have that approach, I feel like that's how you really change the world. Create a network of change, if you will, like a network marketing of change, if you will, just teaching people how to just give a fuck about other people and not just about themselves. So I do a lot of things just for the people around me and people who need help, but I don't need to like validate. If I need to use my platform to bring attention to a cause, I'll do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm no stranger to that, but I don't need to do things for the likes and like, oh, look at me helping people. I'm a good guy, like some other people. But yeah, for me as well, business wise, I mean, after fighting, I definitely want to be. I'll have a lot of networks I can tap into, but one thing I want to do is start a family. That's one thing I want to do, is dedicate my life to my kids, to my family. But also, even right now, I've got something in the work. You know how McGregor's got proper 12? I've got my own now. I've got something like it was an idea. There's two things actually. It was an idea that was incubating for a while, for about the last 6 months. And then on this fight week that just happened during the week, I was talking to my man from Paradigm, Tim, and I just hatched something else that was just so crazy and so simple that it fits so well with me. The same way whiskey fits so well with McGregor. And I was just like, this is it. This is my biggest nest egg. I believe when I get this done, right, this is me. I'm set for lifetimes. I'm set for lifetimes. So is that, but also I want to have a production company because I love creating, I love animating, I love video games, I want to do some voiceover work. Disney, holla at me, Marvel, holla at me, DC, even whoever. Like I said, I can code switch in different ways with different languages. I want to. There's so many things I want to get my hands involved in, but right now I'm in the business of kicking ass, and I'm doing it very well. So I'm focused on that. But we're working, man. We're working definitely. It's behind the scenes. I don't brag too much. I like to brag, but I only brag about things that I need people to know about because it's need to know basis.
And what role has just creativity in general played in your life? You seem like it's almost like a stereotype, especially with fighters, where
Mm,
being interested in certain so-called artsy things can be considered, I guess, just not good, right? So like versus you,
mm,
you embrace that fully, and
mm.
what role has that played for you? Just
For
creativity.
me, it's being free authentically. Like I dyed my hair pink. When did I dye my hair pink? Like a few months ago. And people started freaking out, and it's because of their fragile masculinity. They're like, "Oh, that's gay. That's sus. Why this motherfucker?" And I'm like, and so like, there's still that out there. I'm like, all right, cool, speculate. It just keeps them talking about me regardless, and I don't need to like address it or anything. I kind of like it because I'm comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable with expressing myself authentically, and yeah, when you're able to do that, no one can use your truth against you. That's why other people in this business get, you know, caught out because they portray themselves to be one way, and they get locked into that character, and then they can't break out of it because they've portrayed themselves that way for the last fucking how long, how many years, you know? And it's not just one, there's many people like that. They get stuck in that character. They never break the role. So when they get caught out doing something that wasn't in line with that character, it's like, oh fuck. It just comes hard on them. But for me, I'm just me and I'm free. You can never put me in a box. No way. No one can ever put me in a box. Be like, oh, Stylebender is this, Stylebender is that. There's the reason I'm a style bender. I can switch, you know what I mean? I can adapt very well to any situation. So yeah, creativity is one of those things that helps me because I'm able to everything starts here, bro. Everything starts here. The headphones you're wearing, the mic, this phone I'm talking on, everything started here. Even myself, I was a thought before this happened, so yeah, this is so fucking hippie, but it's real. It's the power of the mind. It is. So I just learned how to harness it. That's why everyone was, oh, what is he? People always like to say that I'm 31. They're like, oh my God, he acts like such a kid. He acts like such a kid. I'm like, is that supposed to be an insult? Kids hone this completely. Their imagination runs wild. Like that's one thing I love about my shower time is because that's one of the only places in the world where I can actually just be alone and create like never before. Like I love huge showers because I get to just create inside them, and it's one of those things. So just harnessing your power of the mind and your imagination, because they might try and say, oh, you got a wild imagination, or oh, he's crazy, but hey man, it's the ones that are crazy enough to believe it that make it happen.
Yeah, man. They say don't grow up. It's a trap.
It's a trap. I was about to get into the trap and I realized, fuck that. So I quit my job September 4th, 2013, and I never looked back. I remember that day because that was a day I felt like I was reborn, and I'll never forget that day. So I quit the trap, bro.
How do you keep feeding the machine? What do you do for self-education? What's your learning style, if you could classify it? Do you like to read books, audiobooks?
Mm.
Do you how
Yeah,
do you keep feeding your mind?
yeah. For me, my learning style would be Luke C. Do. Luke C. Do. I look at things, I see it, and I just replicate it. I'm a copycat ninja, if you will. Like, the ones of Naruto. I'm able to just replicate things that I see quite easily. But I love audiobooks. I love podcasting. I love internet, YouTube, just like going down rabbit holes. But at the same time, even I just watched the Social Dilemma, so I've kind of like realized one thing, bro. That that documentary gave me a little bit of a expansion of what I already knew about the phones and whatnot. Right now, I'm logged off Instagram. We need to normalize logging off just because it'll save you so much. Same thing when I learned from that is recommended videos. I don't always click on them anymore. Now I go search for what I want rather than just go what's recommended, because that's how they keep you on the loop on the algorithm. So yeah, for me, I learn from everyone, even people that are on as experienced as me. They still have a lot to teach, some of them. So I listen. If I don't like what they say because it doesn't gel with my idea of what I want to do, I don't do it. But you can listen. It doesn't cost anything just to listen, just a little bit of time, and time's valuable. So I use it wisely.
What are some of your favorite books or audiobooks? I'm just curious.
The one I liked that really helped me before my excuse me, that really helped me before my New York fight in Madison Square Garden was what's the name? It was a Charlemagne the God book, not Black Privilege. The next one, I can't remember the name now. Oh my God, don't escape me.
Not that
Shook Ones. Anxiety Played Tricks on Me. That was the name.
Mm.
That was the one. Like just listening to the way he talked about the way he dealt with his anxiety, which was a lot. I was like, I could pick some things because everyone's on the spectrum. No matter what anyone tries to say, oh, I'm normal, this and that. Those are the ones that probably need it the most. The ones who think they don't need it, they're probably the ones. So everyone's on that spectrum, but it's just how far on the spectrum are you? Are you here or are you like way off? But no one is free of that. Every single person on this earth has the spectrum, but just depends on how far on the spectrum are you.
What do you think's like a good first step to, like, you realize you're on one side of the spectrum? What do you think's like a good first step to get help? You know, like what did you do first to really get you moving forward on the spectrum?
And what was that moment
Mm,
that preceded that first step?
mm. I'm trying to think of one. The first step. There was one it's uh I've never said this to anyone before, but like it was once in 2013. So I said like I quit my job in 2013, right, September 4th. Before that, I was going through the biggest depression of my life. Nothing was working in life. My job sucked. Hated it. You know, the girl was about to leave me. You know, me and my dog weren't really like bonded because he could see I wasn't like stable. And I knew this person who like she had already been like committed to like a ward or something. And I remember like I asked her to give me the number because I didn't want to be in control anymore. I wanted someone else to just take the keys and just like I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted someone else to just take control and me just be in the hospital bed. And she gave me the number to people to call to like commit myself. And I remember I had the number there and I was just like, and this is me at my lowest point. And I was like, nah. And I put it down. And I remember I just couldn't do that because I knew like for me as Izzy, that wasn't what I needed. That wasn't what I needed. And I just needed to push through. I know when to ask for help, you know, but after that, that was probably like a moment that I realized, all right, cool. I need to ask for help, but not this help. So I talked to my parents, I talked to my friends, and then I started to see someone from there, like a little bit, because I had that with the work that I had at the time. You had like, I think, 5 free visits with a therapist or whatever with the job that I had at the time. So I started using that. And yeah, the first step is just accept that you're not perfect, accept that you're flawed, and realize that I need help and just be honest with yourself. So yeah.
And then from there, you were training, like you just got right into the training, or you were training while you were at your job?
Oh no, I was training. I was already training while I was at my job. I was working. I was training in the morning, go work 8 hours a day, and then go back and train, and then go home and you know attend to my dog, take him for a walk, dinner and whatnot, and then back to it the next day.
So you said training wasn't going good for you. So when did it start like switching around for you? Was it the therapy that switched it for you, or?
No, training. Oh well, at the time, training wasn't going good. Training was already good before that, but it was just my life. Everything was just turning to shit. So it was just me. It was just all me. It was just the thing that I was living. The way I was living wasn't really aligning with my goals, if you will. Like I said, everything was turning to shit. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just working. For me, I started because I think I tried 4 times before I quit that job. I tried 4 times prior. Even so, that one time I kind of like I was always talking about it. I was even to this day I never let them forget it. I don't talk to them anymore, but I always say like I'm gonna fucking get out of here one day. And one time I said it again, and this guy laughed at me. I turned around, I was like, "What's funny?" He's like, "Well, Israel, you said that last year." I was like, "And like so, because I failed, does that mean I'm gonna quit and end up like you?" So I'm glad. I hope he actually watches this. I'm not gonna say his name, but like I'm sure they watch a lot of my interviews just because they'll be surprised to see how I'm living now. But yeah, I mean, I never quitted. I never like even every lunchtime I'd be sitting it by the water cooler and just looking over the city. People ask me, "What are you looking at?" I'm just like, "Nothing, just thinking." And all I was just thinking is like, one day I'm just gonna be able to just do this, do whatever I want, and not be here. And I planned it out. Yeah, planned it out.
So is that where you were thinking about the road back? That was about 8 years ago, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was always I have my old phone with the folders on it, like my vision folder, things I just screenshot because I it's not just material things, just certain things, certain images that bring out a feeling in me that make me feel good, like a beautiful family, a nice car, a beautiful trip, you know, extended family barbecue, like certain things I screenshot just because it just brings out it's the feeling it brings out of me. And this robe always just made me feel like a king whenever I saw people having it. So I was like, yo, mm, mm, mm. It's not even that comfortable to be honest. I've had more comfortable robes, but it's the sickest. It's the sickest. It's nice though.
So, Izzy, with this new perspective you have, you, and I'm sure you've seen this more than most people, especially at very high levels in different industries. People get kind of lost and they get almost one dimensional. They become just entirely work obsessed and then their family falls apart, or maybe they even become too family obsessed and then their work falls apart. So, how do
Mm-hmm.
you maintain all of these things and just maintain this well-rounded that you clearly have?
All right, I'll finish off on this because I got a few more after this, a few more media calls. But balance is balance. You can't be, like I said, too far on one end or the other. You have to be balanced. And it's just the way I realized it for myself was realizing that I'm the shit, but also realizing that I ain't shit. That's like a fine line I have to walk, and I go back and forth. Sometimes I have to just run on the other side real quick and let motherfuckers know, let my nuts hang that I'm the shit. And then other times I run back to the other side and just like cool. Like that's my introverted side. And I'm chilling and I'm reserved and I don't say much because people think I'm very extroverted and whatnot, but that's because that's all they see on TV. They don't know how I live. My roommate is Brad right now, Brad Riddell, who also won on UFC 253, and he likes rooming with me because I don't disturb him. I'm not someone who needs attention or who needs something. Like, what are we doing? Oh, what's like? I need something going on. I can just chill for hours. But at the same time, I can fucking just turn up for hours. But it's balance, man. It's finding out the balance. Don't be too obsessed. Like right now, work. I was obsessed with work. This last camp, I was dedicated. So now I'm gonna chill for a little bit, but I'm not gonna like. Even when I was obsessed with work for this camp, I wasn't just like fully work. I had to find the balance, which I go chill with my friends. We went bike riding, video gaming, hanging out with my girl, hanging out with my dogs. So now same thing. I'm gonna go chill now, but I'm not gonna just go off the rails and just fucking Jones it. I'm actually gonna just chill and enjoy. But also, I just finished training. Literally, I was about to go shower and I realized, fuck, I've got media calls. So yeah, it's balance, man. It's just balance, but finding it within yourself.
Beautiful. Izzy, such a pleasure. Thank you so
Oh
much.
man,
Really.
thanks you guys. Appreciate that.
Peace out, bro. Be easy. We'll see you soon.
Peace out, my man. Hey, be easy. Hey, I like that.
All right, Tim. I gotta give you a hug, brother. On fucking camera.
Hold on. Oh, you want to?
On fucking camera, bro. Yeah, boy. Wow. Wow.